just finished reading The 11th Plague by Jeff Hirsch, and so I'm gonna review it. I give this 3 stars out of 5 because it was good. The 11th Plague takes place in the future after a big war and after a big plague that wiped out most of the population. And it is about this boy, Stephen, who is a scavenger. And scavengers are just people who are always traveling and scavenging for food and things to trade, for food and clothes and things to use as shelter, and they never stay in the same place. And most people don't stay in the same place, but because the world has basically come to an end, there aren't any laws anymore, or law enforcers, or anything like that. So it's basically everyone for themselves, and if you die, that sucks, and if you kill someone, no one's going to do anything about it. The 11th Plague starts off with Stephen and his father burying his grandfather. There's a big storm and they're running away from people who are coming after them, and Stephen's dad falls and hits his head and goes into a coma, but people see it happen and take Stephen and his dad to where they live. And they have formed this community where they have a park and a school and houses, and not just newly built houses, but houses from before the plague, which they call P11. So before P11, that are just still intact. Stephen finds this very strange because he grew up in a world where none of this existed anymore. He didn't even realize that there were places still like this. It's about him experiencing all of this for the first time and, you know, only knowing things about it from stories that his parents told him or his grandparents told him. And from his perspective, I found it interesting, you know, to hear about this stuff that's normal to all of us and how it's not normal to him and how it was so shocking. So that part of the story was pretty interesting. But that goes on for about half of the book. And then enter Jenny. Jenny is a troublemaker who does not want to live by any rules, and she wants to run away. And Stephen kind of wants to run away as well because he hasn't grown up with this whole community thing, and it's really, really different for him, and it's hard for him to get into the groove of that. Stephen and Jenny decide to let off some steam and let off some, like, cherry bombs somewhere, and it causes this huge mess. The first half of the story is about Stephen realizing that there are still communities and there's still people together and there's still hope for mankind. And the second half is about a little mini war kind of happening. So the second half was pretty exciting, and the first half was not very exciting, but interesting enough. What I didn't like about this story was I found it very simple, like the writing. I almost felt like it was a lower grade, like it was like a book for 12-year-olds, but it's not. I'm pretty sure it's YA, and it's about a 15-year-old. But it's also this author's first novel, so that could be also part of that reason, that he just hasn't, his writing hasn't grown, you know, as much as it probably will in the future. And all of the descriptions were just, it was all telling instead of showing. You can use telling, of course, but don't do it all that way. I just hit a plate with the book. I found it had a lot of short, choppy sentences as well. And I didn't find the character development really strong or anything like that. It was all very slow, and then things happened really fast, and then it was over. The stuff that I didn't like about it wasn't enough for me to not want to read it. It was enjoyable. Yeah, parts of it bugged me, but I also liked it. So this was a good book, but it wasn't spectacular. It wasn't anything to write home about. It was just a story that I enjoyed reading. Yeah, yeah, that's it. It was a good story.